Hello and welcome to Affidian Lifestyle and Magazine Show. First of all, let me start off with my apologies because we are having some technical difficulties. One of my guests are not able to log on at the time, so we have been going back and forth at the moment. So again, so sorry we're starting this late, but as you know, here we are. And for the show business girl in me, the show always goes on. So I wanted to first say and explain what are we doing here. A year ago, I started the Meta Lifestyle Magazine Show. In January of 2023, I launched the Meta Lifestyle Magazine, and then I followed it up with a TV show, which was more an entertainment, information, education. It was a lot of fun, and I got a chance to interact with a lot of people that I've met over the years in this field. For those of you who know me, I have been publishing a magazine for a very long time, but it was in the dance field. I used to publish the dance magazine of Florida, which I changed into World of Dance magazine, and then it became Dancing magazine, and then COVID came, and poof, all of that was gone instantly. So when I started last year with the Meta Lifestyle magazine, because to me, meta means metaphysics, but I got a lot of resistance because meta to other people meant something else. So with time, I had to decide, I had to make sure that the name that I choose moving forward had to resonate and had to have needed a staying power. And I'm saying that, and this is for anyone that runs a business, and you have to be very, very mindful and careful with the name that you use, because what happened to me when I started World of Dance magazine, because I wanted something that would reach, a bigger audience, unbeknownst to me, or actually not so much, I actually used a trademark lawyer to look into it. And they came back to me and said, there is another World of Dance magazine, but they're a competition company and you're a magazine, so it doesn't matter, it's okay. And, trusting them because they are the experts, I went ahead, and believe it or not, I got a cease and desist letter from a huge lawyer in California telling me I cannot use that name or they are going to sue me. Well, when I looked further, turns out it was the up and coming World of Dance magazine by NBC and J Lo. There's no way I'm fighting them in court. So I gave up everything. I had to give up my website, my name, my banking, everything I had to change for a name. So last year, when I started with Meta Lifestyle Magazine, and Meta started creating issues, and I thought, I cannot do this. So halfway through the year, I stopped. And I also had some personal family stuff going on, and those close to me will know exactly what that is, and I'm not going to get into it here. But I needed that time to revamp, to reorganize, and get back on, get back to this space. So in 2009, when I started my business, I called it Affidian. So it's called Affidian Incorporated. And the story of Affidian, it's very dear to me, and it's such a fun, sweet story. I love to tell it over and over again. But Affidian is a mispronunciation of infinity, and from infinity and beyond. And this was because my toddler son, back when he couldn't talk yet completely, and we would play the I love you game. I love you more, I love you to the ceiling, I love you to the sky, I love you to the moon. And it was his turn to say, I love you to Affidian and back. And he said, I love you to infinity and back. And he says, I love you to Ophidian. And I went, what? And he goes, I love you, Ophidian. And I thought it was so cute. So it kind of became a family joke, and I've used it forever. But it was so cute because to us it means infinity, but because of the way he put it. So anyway, so that's where Affidian comes from. And then I incorporated in 2009 as Affidian Incorporated. And so when all of this happened, and I thought I need a name that doesn't exist, like the Nike and the Hulu or whatever. I needed something that didn't exist, so I didn't have to worry with branding and name and change. And like anything else, it will become a just a name that we all get used to. So Affidian became Affidian TV, Affidian Magazine, Affidian, everything. My whole platform now is called Affidian. So, but as you know, we will get more deeper into that later. But right now, I would like to go and start presenting my guest. And I have three amazing guests I asked to come on. Um, and I just want to share this moment with you because we're here to share our knowledge and wisdom and best practices and just connect. They always say people need people, and we cannot exist in this world without a community, a tribe. And it's just great to a moment like this to present someone that is going to say something that's going to resonate with the person who needs it at this moment, because we're always seeking knowledge, we're always seeking answers, we're always seeking a tribe because we need that. And so, without further ado, I want to introduce to you Miss Candy Barodi.
Candy Barati, known as the Loving Lightworker.
Oops, give me one moment. And
Candy Barati, known as the Loving Lightworker, is a spiritual intuitive healer and guide. Her journey in healing and intuitive guided channeling has been profound. It is marked by dedication and a deep commitment to bringing comfort and healing to others. Candy's World is her podcast show where she shares insight, deep thought, and healing guidance. Her dedication to her craft and her clients is truly inspiring, and her work serves as a beacon of light in an often challenging world.
and Candy Barodi, welcome.
Girlfriend,
Here we are again.
you got people doing all kinds of cool stuff, and that's so nice. Thank you for that beautiful intro. Thank you for creating that, and to everyone who had a hand in the creation of that, I thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Miss Candy Barodi, well known as the Loving Light Worker. And I'm going to go ahead and say Candy and I go way back with a lot of history. And obviously, I know a lot about her, but I am going to let her tell you who she is. Go ahead, Candy.
I am here supporting Karina's beautiful project as always. Um, she is a soul sister dear to my heart, and anytime she has something that she is creating, I am always someone who's been had something to do with listening to the formula of how it goes on. And so today I wouldn't be anywhere but here. So I changed my plans to be here to make sure that I was a part of this show. And here we are. So
here we are, and here we are.
Here
So,
we are once
Candy,
again.
So, you have been on this journey for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first met you a long time ago, we were very, very told on the side that there was something up. And I know you don't talk much about it, but I think it's important that you share this so people understand that there's a reason that you're on this path as a intuitive healer, because you had to at one point heal yourself.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on your story?
Okay. So, in throughout my life, when I was a child, let's just start quickly there. When I was a child, I could always hear, and I used to see things, and I also did astral travel, which I didn't know what that was at the time. Um, on my journey as a child, I always seemed to know things. Um, I knew things about people and about, um, I knew things. I just happened to know things. And I was always referred to as Little Miss Know It All. And, sometimes in all of our lives, people not understanding how powerful their words are spells. That's why it's called spelling. They put this little spell on you, and you decide that, oh, maybe I better be quiet because my knowing things makes others uncomfortable. And so with that, I became quiet. I was a quiet, good child. However, I did know things, and I could see things, and I had anyway. I had some gifts that all children have, by the way. So I had my gifts, and then they kind of got shut down by society and by my listening to how that was, made me weird, or stuff like that. So I went into the spiritual closet, and I came out many, many decades later. But during my life, I was always very healthy and vibrant and childlike, which still is the case now. However, at one point in time, um, my body, because we are not our bodies, we are eternal beings, and this is just the vehicle in which we are driving around. So at the time, my daughter was born in 2002. Right around that time, I had been gaining weight after she was born, and I was gaining weight. I sensed that something was wrong. I started going to my chiropractor, and then, but there's a nudge in you. You know something's up. So, women, you have the intuition. That is our gift, and so we follow our intuition. And one day, from the chiropractor, he sent me to go get some tests. So the gratitude comes in the gifts of the revelations, right? So found out that the reason I was gaining weight at the time was because my body was experiencing a 4 centimeter tumor on the base of my brain. So it was prolactinoma, and it had pre-cancer cells. So I went in for the appointment, and then the doctor said, well, I found out, what's going on, and we have to work on this tumor first. And I was like, when he said tumor, it was like all of a sudden, like, woo, I was underwater. I didn't hear another word he said. Just the word tumor sent like sort of shock waves throughout me, and his mouth was still going, but I had this moment of, what is happening right now? So I ended up leaving the office that day, and I I cried because I had a baby, and my sweet baby girl, and I cried. And then after I cried, I was like, mm-mm. God didn't bring me this far to bring me this far. So I chose to get quiet. And so I chose to get quiet, and I knew that things were happening. Somehow I knew things were happening for me instead of to me. Somehow all that intuitive guidance as I got quiet started coming in. So the next weeks, I started just getting quiet as a little mouse. And I would just lay there, and instead of feeling sorry for myself, I sort of handed it over and I said, I know. And I was speaking to my guides, or speaking into the sky, or speaking to the universe. And I just said, I know there's a way through this. And I know that you are here to assist me. And I'm going to trust, and I'm going to hand this over, and I'm going to listen, and I'm going to come through this with shining colors. And so that's how it began. From there, I started seeing all kinds of healers in terms of different modalities. One of them was, yes, I hand this over and trust. I love you, Candy. I love you, darling. My sweet girls here. I just saw this in the corner of my eye. So what I want to say is, at that point in time, I was married, and I was there was some fear around the information. However, I decided to take things into my own hands. And one day I was sitting there crying in the house with my little girl, and I said to God, I'm going to hand this over, and I invite you to assist me in any way you can. So I went on the computer, just like I am right now, and I said, prolactinoma tumor. And then all this information came up, and I was looking for a doctor, and it came up this name, Dr. Shireen Izat. He is the person who wrote all the textbooks on pituitary tumors in North America. And so I'm looking at the phone number. It's like 5:00 on a Friday. I'm crying. And I just pick up the phone. Back then we had a phone, like a landline. And I picked up the phone, and I called the number, looking at the screen, 5:00 on a Friday. I'm sitting there, and I hear hello. And I go, oh, hello. I'm calling for Dr. Shireen Izat. And he said, this is Dr. Shireen Izat. And I was like, this is Candy. And he goes, hi, Candy. He goes, I never answer my phone. For some reason, I just felt like picking it up. And I just start to cry right there. I said, I'm scared. And can you help me? And he said, absolutely, I can help you. And he said, why don't you come in and let's have a look and see what's going on. And so I said, okay. And so it ended up, I went in on Monday. He said, I'll leave a message for my receptionist and come in down to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and he took another MRI and saw it was 4 centimeters. And I got the pictures, and it was pretty big right on the base of my thing. And so anyway, what ended up happening was he said, I can give you a tablet which will stop it from growing, but I cannot take it away. There's ways we can go about it. And I said, that's fine. I'm grateful that you answered the phone, and I feel blessed that you invited me to come, and thank you. And for some reason, I feel like I've got this. I got this. Bitch, I got this. So he plays an important role in this, because he's the one who sees the before and after. Anyway, I end up going to see a medium, because I was into for years, for decades, I was into the spirit realm, and that's where I trust them in the spirit realm. And what's going on in the 3D world is, depending on your frequency, is going to come to you, whatever it is. So that's how it all started. Anyway, long story short, how do I shorten this story? You asked me something. And
I know it's a very deep story, and I know you're getting to the nitty gritty, but pretty much, I just want people to understand that you went through a personal, very traumatic, very life-changing moment, especially because you just had a baby, and there is that moment of thinking, oh my goodness, am I going to be here, for the
I knew I was going to be here. That's
Well,
the difference.
you made a
That's where things
choice.
change. That's where things change for
You
me.
made a choice. You didn't get into the oh boo hoo. You didn't, and you didn't continue the story. In all the years that I've known you, you've never talked about, oh, I'm a survivor, I'm at this, I'm at that. You just said that was part of my life. It was a journey to get me here. I actually thank it and appreciate the awareness,
So grateful for it.
right? It's dealing with understanding why things happen to us, or like you said, they're happening to us
They're happening from us, Karina.
or
They're happening
from us.
from
But
us, and they're sent out, and then that is what happens. What
correct.
we believe, and for me, it was the center of my brain shut down, and I gave all my power away.
This is
So
when we surrender and we stop trying to be in charge, because we're not in charge. And unbeknownst to us, our minds are in charge. And if you don't know what your mind is thinking, you're kind of lost there. But you've always been very focused, very attentive on your words and what you say and the way you say it.
well, what I would like to say about that is that your words you have to make sure that they're yours, and that there are two minds. There is the mind of the Holy Spirit that dwells within me as me, and then there is the lower mind, and that is the one that talks all the time. That's the one that is suffering. That is the one that is the egoic consciousness. And when I came to God, and since those days I handed my life over to the Source and the Holy Spirit, and through a devoted practice of love and handing my life over to God every day, um, that raised my frequency, and I was able to heal myself by coming into the frequency, by the grace of God, with other healers that held that space and that frequency for me.
Hmm.
And as I was able to rise into the frequency of the healing that was necessary for me,
Right.
all my clairs opened after that.
So tell us a little bit of what you do now in the present. I know you do a lot of group healing and one-on-one. And so go ahead, tell us what it is that you do now and how you assist people through their healing process.
So since 2017, I had a dream about from Source that said I was to start a page called Whispers from Source, and that I was the loving light worker, and that's where that was born out of. And prior to that, I had been helping people on their journey by giving them new ways of working with their mind and taking away some of the egoic consciousness. And basically, what I do now and what I have been doing professionally since 2018, I have been helping people to love themselves back to life. And I have worked with many, or not many, but two specific groups that I'm very grateful to be in the frequency of, and that I do one on one healing work. I do intuitive coaching, spiritual coaching, and um, I have been doing that using this camera and this computer in this room, and this is where I hold my frequency, where I meditate and pray. And then when I get into the higher frequency, I can help you and channel. I have telepathic abilities that are open, and I have a lot of beautiful guidance that comes through me from the higher realms, and specifically the Divine Mother, Mary Magdalene, and Jesus. And so, from that frequency, that is the highest frequency of love and light and generosity and kindness and sweetness, and also some power, a lot of power, confidence, and joy. And so, I have a community that I've helped for over 4.5 years, um, in two groups. Now I've just been asked recently to, I will be, anyway, I will be moving more on the public formats here. I've always been very quiet, and if you've wanted to find me, I always believe that your frequency will find me if you were meant to be with me. So I always said the truth needs no publicity. However, I'm on Instagram, Candy's World 1111. Make sure it's me because there's other people that copy me. And I book sessions through my private message there. And I don't have a website, and I'm
That's
not.
okay. I have all of that set up. You know me. I'm taking care of all of that. All my guests today are giving away a free gift, and Candy today is offering
I will
10
let you know what
minutes.
I'm offering.
She's offering a 15-minute health assessment session with her. And this is just to get you started, understand where you are, where your energy healing is, with your vibration are, and she's going to walk you through the steps. And all of this will be on affidianmagazine.com/gifts, and that's where her gifts will be there. So you can claim that at the end of the show.
I love you, Kaya. I see you loving me in the corner.
Are you still there? Oh,
That's my Kaya.
Kaya, so glad that you're tuning in with us today. So, yeah.
Candy is.
Oh, that is sweet. No, you
We
have
do.
love
We
back
do.
to life.
We do.
That is sweet, and I know the story as well. So that's thank you for being here, Kaya. We appreciate you.
There's nothing but love here, babe.
There's nothing but love.
It's
So
all joy and love and light. Thank you for
I,
having me on.
I know I'm ready to let you go, but my people are not online, so I'm not even sure what we're gonna do with that. I might just have to keep you on for the whole hour. But yeah, so yes, everyone, we're actually having technical issues, and I'm not sure what's going on and why this is not
I
working,
know why it's happening.
because Source wants just you online. No, we had Vismaya, now she's gone, and then for some reason I'm still trying to
Kaya's laughing. I know she is.
right. All right, so I
We'll see if you can
Candy,
get your guests on. And if
uh,
not, I'll be in the waiting room and I'll be hanging on. Pam is there. I'm still here, she says.
I'm
Hi,
so
Pam.
sorry. All right, so we're going to be moving over to Vismaya. Candy, I just want to thank you once more for again being the loving light worker that you are, and for reaching out to so many, and putting that energy out every night to the collective worldwide, because I know you're reaching people worldwide, and how many people you've been healing. I'm grateful to be part of your journey, to see it and be there. And obviously, myself have had to turn many times to you, so thank you. And please don't leave. Stay in the background, and I'd like to bring you back on at the end to discuss with the rest of us. So stick around, okay? Don't go too far. All
Lots
right.
of love and light to everybody. We'll see what happens. If
All
nobody's
right.
there, I'll be back.
Okay. Mwah. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, Bella. Bye, everybody. Love.
So, like I said, it's the first show. There's always technical difficulties, but as you know, the show must go on. And here we are, because the message is very important. So, without further ado, I would love to bring on.
Wismire Rubin is a mental health advocate, founder of Living in Gratitude Today and #1 Gratitude Gangsta. Vismaya shows people how to manage emotions, challenge negative thought patterns, and improve relationships by living in gratitude today. Vismaya Rubin's approach to practicing gratitude is original, edgy, direct, and energizing. For 20 years, she taught inner-city high schoolers to tap into their inner gratitude gangsta. Vismaya shares these tools with overworked women ready to reclaim their happiness. Vismaya is also a contributing writer for Affidian magazine.
And hello, Miss Maya. Welcome.
Hi,
I'm
Dom.
so
How are
happy.
you?
Did you like my video?
I loved your video. I'm like, wow.
We're still tweaking it, but we're gonna get there.
I started laughing at the gratitude punch because that was super fun.
I still love the gratitude punch. So just to get everyone up to date, last year when we had our Meta Lifestyle magazine show in Boca Raton studio live, and I should have the video and to bring it up, but it was an amazing. It was an article she created for the magazine, and last minute, we were like, "Why don't you come and do it live?" And she's so great to jump right in and no question asked. The smile is like, "I'll be there," and she showed up with her gratitude punch, which we will, I'm sure, will attach it somewhere at some point because I still think it's one of like the best moments in the show. That
It was really,
and
really
of
fun.
course, yeah, that was great. And I was looking at it today because I was trying to see how can I incorporate it in today's show, but we probably will do it at a different time. Definitely. So welcome, Vismaya.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I what I've been trying to do is people who have a message and a voice and offering so much out there. I am creating a platform to make sure more people know what you're doing because it's so important and because we are looking for it. We just don't know where. We don't know where to look. We don't know who to trust. There's so much going on out there. So,
And it's a lot for an entrepreneur to do, to take care of creating a message and then doing all the background stuff. So very grateful that you are taking, you know,
I was explaining, I had a conversation with Candy over the weekend, and I'm trying to explain what I'm doing. So, Affidian Magazine is obviously the magazine, and then I have the TV, but it's Affidian Incorporated, which is my marketing company. Because what I realize, especially, and I've done a lot of research on this, which is the holistic spiritual community is growing very fast. But we cannot do business the same way, industrial age, like I said, because our clients are spiritual people. You can you can manipulate them. You cannot come with fear. Like we have to be all about trust and openness and harmony. So marketing this type of business, this industry is very different. And this is what we're not understanding. And the other night I was up late and someone wrote an article and it was so on target because she says women energy has always been suppressed and women in business has always been obviously managed by men. So they've always put the women against each other. So we now all start our businesses on our own, not realizing that men has always shown us, and if you said you love Think and Grow Rich,
not think and grow. It's the science of getting
the
rich.
science of getting rich. But in Think and Grow Rich, he's talking about a mastermind. And men has always understood that by together, resources, money, time, ideas, they create amazing platforms. I mean, look at all the big guys. I mean, Facebook, you know, all of them, they all had a partner or two partners. But we think we have to do it on our own because we've been told, nope, you got to be on your own and competition. Well, we're not there anymore. We have
Right.
shifted our business paradigm now, and we're all about working together. So I said, so I'm the mall, and I am bringing people to all my tenants. But I still want the tenants to work together because it's the only way it's going to work. We cannot work as individuals no more. It's all about harmony and working together. So that's where I'm coming from. And this is why I'm creating these platforms. And this is why I'm putting you on the stage. And today, you are going to explain to us about your gratitude experiment. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the stage for just, but go ahead, start telling us what this is and how this helps people.
So it's interesting that you talked about the mastermind right away. So it's an accountability group for 30 days, and I called it the gratitude experiment rather than a gratitude challenge because nobody wants to be challenged. Nobody, that word in and of itself sometimes triggers people.
Yes, yes,
And we're talking about gratitude, and I'm like,
right.
challenge doesn't work for me. So if I first called it an experience. all right, I like experience. But then all of a sudden it came to me experiment. And here's why. I've often get told all the time, oh, gratitude doesn't work. Practicing gratitude doesn't work. It's hippy dippy. You know, it's somebody, I was listening to somebody today and she's like, practicing gratitude is part of this toxic positivity. And I was like, I,
Oh
I wanted to,
no.
I wanted to do a stitch with her on social media. And I was just listening, and the way I teach about gratitude and the way I live my life and experience gratitude is absolutely not toxic positivity, because
Right.
that I'm not a fan of, oh my God, good vibes only and everything is wonderful and perfect. That is not my energy. And that is not what I share with people, because I think we have to, we're people, we have experiences, we go up, we go down.
Right.
But gratitude allows us to stay in that space of finding those joyful moments regardless of what's happening. Looking at things like Candy said, you know, how is this happening to or for me rather than to me? And that's a really challenging
Concept.
concept, because, you know, oh, what do you mean it's happening to me or it's happening for me? I don't like what's happening. So the gratitude experiment, the whole idea is this. If we wake up every day hitting the snooze button, going through the same motions, um, drinking coffee, going to work the same way we go to work, listening to the same music, dreading getting to the office. And then we have these big goals and these big dreams and these big desires and these passions. We're living in two different worlds. We have, you know, we're very low vibe in our real life, but then we have these ideas that we want to create. Well,
Exactly.
if our vibe attracts our tribe, or if what we focus on expands, what we're focusing on every time we hit the snooze button, every time we, you know, stub our toe and the whole day is ruined, or we continue in our routine, is we're getting more of the same. So the gratitude experiment, the whole purpose of it is to give people an opportunity each morning to consciously create their future into existence. Because when we write about it, when we think about, when we dream about our future as if it already happened, what we're doing is we're giving our body the opportunity to feel those feelings. Well, what would it feel like if I was a millionaire? What would it feel like? And today, you know, when I was writing and I was explaining to somebody, it doesn't even have to be about being a millionaire. But today I was
No.
writing and I was like, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. And I was in flow. Now, I
Wow.
don't know how every piece of the day is going to work out, but I can understand what it feels like to be in flow. And I can understand what it feels like to be in this creative energy. And the more that I allow myself to get into that space, the more I'm able to attract that, number one. And when it happens to me in real life, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's not that flow space I was talking about earlier today. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God.
Right.
And having full faith that it will happen, or something better,
Right.
that your dreams or desires will happen. So the experiment is this. My uncle said to me yesterday, well, if it's an experiment, what's the control group? The control group is if we did nothing to change our life,
True.
that's our control, because nothing is happening. We're doing the same old, same old. And for
Right.
most people, the truth is this: if you change nothing in your life, you would be okay, and life would be okay, and it would be fine, and you would get through your day, and you would make a difference for people, and you would love, and you would be angry, it would be okay. But do we want to keep living in a space of okay? Do we want to keep living in a space of fine? No, I don't. So let's take it to the next level. And how do you do that? Through the gratitude experiment.
So what exactly what exactly is it? Is it a something they're gonna get by email, or something they have to log in, or do they
So
communicate with you?
so it's a 30-day program. They meet with me. We meet live twice. So we have two pieces of accountability, because I think accountability is also the big part. So there's a
Yes.
morning activity that takes, let's say, 10 minutes, if that. You do your morning activity, you log on to Facebook, and you text that you've done it. Why? Because when you do it and other people see that you've done it, it motivates other people, or
Right.
vice versa. When you go on and you see that 25 people in this community are consciously creating their future, it changes the energy, it shifts the energy,
It does.
and it keeps us wanting to play in that realm.
It
So
goes right back to what I said, working as a team, as a tribe. We were meant to be a tribe. We were never meant to be on our own.
correct. So every morning people do their activity, they chime into Facebook, I'm consciously creating my future. And then in the afternoon, there's a component, a gratitude component, where again, it's accountability, where they go in and we write down some of our gratitude wins.
Wow.
Um, it has been really miraculous to see some of the things that have happened. Like the very first one I did, somebody said, just doing this for a week, I was able to make a decision that I have been trying to make for years, and I finally just got it.
Yeah.
And then somebody else was telling me, she says, I practice gratitude all the time, but I'm busy. My life is crazy, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a mom, and I have this and I have that. And she says, but the accountability component allowed me to focus on my wins versus all the crazy that was happening. And I think that is one of the most important pieces. If we learn to focus on what we're grateful for,
Yes.
that happened today, not the I'm going to repeat a rote gratitude list. I'm happy I'm alive. I'm happy I have shoes. I'm happy. All of that is wonderful. But repeating a rote gratitude list is not practicing gratitude. It does nothing to change the neural pathways in your brain. It does nothing to, it doesn't make you have that gratitude high or that moment.
And sometimes it's okay. And this is what I think some people miss. Sometimes you don't have to do 100 things in one day. Maybe it's that one day you said, you know what, today I'm going to drink my 8 glasses of water. And you do that. And then you pat yourself on the back and said, oh my goodness, I did it. It's amazing how it changes your perspective and it gives you the momentum and the courage to do, well, now tomorrow I want to try something else. And then you build on that because sometimes people want to change everything at the same time. Hello, Dushi, turn off the music, please. Sorry about that. My son just walked in. Dushi. Dushi means sweetheart in Papiamento.
He has no idea that we're having a very
I
important
know. We're
conversation.
having this great talk, and he's like, "Ah, da, 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 da." But at least he's in a good space. So that means he walked in with a good high vibration.
Right.
That's good. You got to walk into high vibration in my home. But we need to learn that you start with one thing, and it's like that, especially beginning of the year. People have a New Year's resolution, and then they have like all of this stuff they want to do, and then they wonder why they can't stick to it. You cannot do you can't even do 3 or 4 different things at the same time. So it's about doing one at a time. So that's what you are teaching them right now. You're showing them the one thing to be grateful for the day. And then that,
Yes and no. So for me, it's I understand what you're saying. I think that when you're in a space of like, oh my God, life is so challenging, finding that one thing, and it may be I got out of bed today and that was the best thing that happened. But I think there's a couple of important things. Reminding ourselves that if nothing happened at this moment that I can say I'm grateful for, the worst thing you can do is go into a thing, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I can't find something to be grateful for. Because then we go into beating ourselves up and then we fall even deeper.
right,
So what I always say is like, do this practice every few hours and stop and scan your space. What's the best thing that happened to me? Or what are my gratitude wins for the last 3 to 4 hours? And the more we do that, we start to acknowledge and notice things. The other part is as far as I think the main piece of the experiment is to remind people that to shift the energy and to have the faith that whatever we say, whatever we want to create, we have the power to create or something better. We don't have to know how, we don't have to understand anything, but to be open to receive and to take action. Because
right,
I could sit on the couch and eat bonbons all day. That's not going to get me, the
right.
perfect body. Now, if I'm eating bonbon, no, if I'm on the couch and visualizing my perfect body and then going out and doing certain things, we have to be in action. We have to take action, and we have to take inspired action. We have to take action that will lead us to where we want to be.
Right.
So it's been really exciting. We started today, the next one, the newest one. And people are excited. They're
Are they
ready.
enjoying it?
They're
So
enjoying
does this start every first of the month? How's that working?
I've been starting most of the time the first of the month. Last month I took a hiatus for a month, but I think I'm gonna continue to do it every month because it's been really powerful, even for myself. Like today, sitting down doing my own journaling about my creating my future, all these ideas started to pop in my head.
Right.
And I had to start and I had to write them down. And it was, and it was really about flow.
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute, why am I not doing this? And look at what happened. And I had this day and it was really, really cool because I didn't want to stop to do the next task. I wanted to keep, doing what I was doing. And because it was giving me ideas of actionable ideas so that I could actually get the things that I say that I want.
I know that feeling. That's why we have a show today, because that's what happened. I too went in this long break, and we both went through our issues in the last year, and then one day I was in that same space, like, I'm like in a slump, and I thought all you gotta do is just journal today, nothing else, just journal, and that was it. All of a sudden, the flow started, and I'm like, oh my goodness, oh, wait. And then, so as you know, I'm also doing a mastermind program on the first Fridays of the month, and a workshop but it's not my workshop, it's my members workshop, because again, people need to know what's out there and where they can go, and to live a well-rounded lifestyle, we need a little bit of everything. So we need the gratitude, but we need for the people who are in business, and we need the relationships, and we need the health. So we need a little bit of all of that. So, this is great. So, between Candy the healer and you teaching gratitude, what a great combination that is just to get started.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, consciously creating. Imagine if everybody spent time waking up and consciously creating their future, being grateful for what they have versus, focusing on what's there versus what's missing.
Right.
If we did those two small things, it really would shift not just our own world, but everybody else's. Try a
Right.
day without complaining.
Right. That's huge.
or talking about anybody, being, chismosa and saying, oh, you know what happened? Oh,
Oh my goodness.
just letting people
Yes.
be. That would
Yes.
change the world. And the
Yes.
more we do these kind of exercises, the easier it becomes to just let be. And it was interesting because, I thought, did you ask about April Fool's Day jokes? Did you?
Actually, I didn't, but go ahead.
I don't know. I thought I heard something about April Fools. I whatever. 2 years ago, I started reading this book. It was called The Garden of Emunah. And Emunah in Hebrew means faith. So I've had an understanding of faith, but not really to this level. And the whole idea of this book is that everything that happens to us happens for a reason, kind of like what Candy was saying. And the purpose is to elevate our soul to the next level. Okay, got it. So I'm really excited. I'm reading with this woman. I don't even know her. We met online because part of this Jewish book study. And we're reading, and she's very observant. I'm not as observant. And then all of a sudden, April 1st comes along, and it was 2 years ago. And I go to check my bank account because my mother's check always came in from Social Security, and that's how I paid her rent, whatever. And there was $40 that were deposited. I'm like, is Uncle Sam playing an April Fool's Day joke on me? Like, seriously? This is not funny. And then I was about to lose my cool. And I'm like, all right, Emunah, have faith that everything happens for a reason. This is God is giving you an opportunity to practice having blind faith because like your name, that everything is going to happen exactly what it's supposed to happen. I'm like, okay, have Emunah, have faith. The next day, April Fool's Day joke still happening because the money didn't come in the account. I went into my mother's assisted living facility at the time. I woke her up at 8 o'clock. We got on the phone with Social Security. They hung up on me. I got on the next day. They hung up on me. Now, mind you, I had to drive there, wake her up, drag her out of bed. She gives them permission to talk to me. They're like, well, we don't have any record that you've ever been here with her and that you can speak. Okay. You have to come in. Long story short, I called the state representative. I said, this is what's happening. This is ridiculous. Friday morning, they called me back. Monday morning, Social Security called. The following Wednesday, my mother's check was back in the account. And the reason I share this is because it was the opportunity for me to practice faith,
Trust the process.
trust the process that everything would work out exactly how it was supposed to, and not lose my cool, because I was going to lose my cool quickly.
That's one of the top studies in metaphysics, is how to roll with the punches, is how not to get caught up, how not to react on everything, how to always step back and assess the situation first before, because when we react, what do? Our energy goes instantly, we dive down, and then
Right.
that's
And that's not easy. That's not easy to do,
no,
not at
it
all.
takes practice. It
It
takes a
takes a
lot
lot
of
of practice. I think one of my favorite quotes is Robert Emmons: "Gratitude is an effortful state to create and maintain. It is not for the intellectually lethargic." I heard that and I was like, oh my God, so these toxic positivity, oh, it's so easy, just be grateful.
no,
No,
nothing.
it takes effort. It takes
Nothing in the spiritual development world, it sounds easy. Nothing, not the law of attraction, the law, whatever, all those laws, the universe, they sound easy. They're not easy.
you have to create habits and be
Really have
consistent.
to. It's a lot more difficult than, you name it, school, work, business. I don't care, because it's really you and you. There's no one, you can't blame anyone. There isn't like, oh, he did a wrong finance, or he did. It's all you. And it's very conscious and very deliberate. Before we move forward, I want you to tell us what your gift is, because you did offer a gift. And then we're going to bring Candy back on. Candy, are you still with us? And we're going to bring Candy back on, and we're going to continue this conversation, because I think that would be great to move on. So just 2 seconds, tell us what your gift is.
So it's a gratitude bingo card. So the idea is to really get you to focus on finding your gratitude wins. That's the way I teach about gratitude. And it's interesting because when you play the game the way it's designed to play, you'll get to see where you spend your focus on. Are you noticing who or what did out there? Like, did somebody do something for you? Was it an object that made you feel grateful? And then you also get to take inventory on what did you do to make the world brighter? And that's really important, because when we start to take inventory that way, we start to notice all of the things that we've done well, which keeps us motivated and moving forward.
Excellent.
So I won't go through each one of them, because that's the opportunity to download it. It's super fun. And you'll get to really see where you are in your gratitude journey.
Wow. Okay. Perfect. So here we are. Hi, Candy. Welcome back
Hi.
on. So we were just still talking about, um, gratitude, how it actually affects us, how people don't understand how it works and why it works. You mentioned earlier about words and how that affect us. Same thing as in gratitude. And I think sometimes, and Vismaya, you're right. Sometimes people think gratitude just means, oh, thank you for today, and then we move on without the feeling, without the intention, without the actual conscious, being connected.
Everywhere you go, you hear the idea of write down 3 things you're grateful for today, and it becomes very rote and very mundane. And it's not really, for me, about practicing gratitude. Gratitude is about opening your eyes and seeing what's around you, what happened today.
Right. It's about being appreciative for everything. And when you start living in the present consciously, then you realize you should be grateful for everything including having a glass of water in your hand, because we know out there, not everyone can just say, I can go to the faucet and turn on water and have clean water to drink, to shower, to, soak in my bath. We have a lot of comfort that sometimes we kind of take for granted.
Correct.
Andy, because I know she loves her little baths.
So do I.
Right? Candy, your input?
Well, water is a healer. You want to change your energy, you step into water. Any message that you have for water, you can put into the water, and then you will immerse yourself into the water, and the water will take on the message of the water. If you studied things in regards to water, you can look up Dr. Masaru Emoto, who studied water,
Right.
and he froze messages in water crystals, and then he photographed them. I met him in 2014. It's a fascinating, beautiful chapter in my life.
I'm sorry, I'm having a feedback. Do you have your phone on or something?
No.
Okay, it just stuck. It was a feedback for some reason. Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm grateful that you both came on because you're kind of saying the same message, but from two different angle and two different modalities and two different way, because both of them are very healing, both of them are very uplifting, both of them actually elevate our vibration and put us in a great space. And I always say, if you want to have the best high, like, forget drugs or antidepressants, just meditate, just get in that space of gratitude, and it puts you in that amazing space of, wow, everything is so. And even when things are not good, and we've all had the moment when things are just not good, and somehow you don't feel down or depressed or angry, you're still in that space of, yeah, you know, I'm okay, or I'm going to be okay, right?
One of the 3 ways that I will raise my vibration right off the top of my head is I will laugh, I will sing, and I will dance. And that's instant. That's all you have to do. Laugh, sing, and dance.
Laugh, sing, and dance.
It's called enlightenment. So lighten up.
Mm.
Well, we do all love to laugh, and I'm sure most of us love to dance. I'll try to singing every now and then. Although I gotta say, the last time we had our last come get together here in West Palm, Miss Maya broke out in song. We were all impressed. We were like, "What?" And for some reason, I carry a mic with me in my bag. Don't ask me why.
Oh my
It's
God,
a
that
showgirl,
was
and you remember? And I pulled out my mic, and I'm like, and they're like, "Are you carrying a mic in your bag?" I'm like, "Of course. I'm with creative people. That's what we do." And this Maya sang for us
oh my
right
God,
here live.
so funny.
That's fun. And as I don't know if you know, but Candy is actually a professional singer. So she breaks out, like, I cannot have a conversation with Candy. Every word has a song that goes with it, and she breaks out in song.
I wrote
So
this jingle for her last show.
the jingle for my opening show was her creation. It was like, I just called. I said, someone asked me if they can do the jingle for my show.
It was
And
a
I
Friday
said,
afternoon, and I had to have it ready by Tuesday on the air. And I was sitting in an Uber, and she's like, they told me, we can do this and this and this for your show if you'd like, and we could, start it off with a lovely segment of music or something. And she was like, I got this. I know somebody. She calls me. I'm in the
yeah, this other person wanted to agree. She's like, let me do it for you. I'm like, oh no, I won't last a day if I don't let my girlfriend Candy do it first. And before I finish asking, she's like, I can't talk now. The words is already popping into my head. Bye bye. I'm like, okay.
Well, I immediately heard a Caribbean song in my head. So it was an immediate Caribbean song, and then I had it took me 2 days, and then I summed up the best parts of her life into 6 lines, and that's it. When I write for somebody, I really want to get to know them so that I can really express who they are and their soul and what lights them up, so that it is of the highest vibration and the highest good. And so it was a joyful song.
I'm sure it was.
Was. It's a great song, actually. It's a fun
23
song.
seconds.
It's a fun song. Well, guys, we are at the top of the hour. We're not getting to Pam because I'm looking here and I have. We were going to discuss the solar eclipse and all because I actually
Mhm.
experienced a solar eclipse in. I'm going
I'm
to
saying
say
I'm here. I'm here.
she's there, but we cannot see. I'm trying. I mean, look, I know
Is her
you're there. Can anyone see her? Because I cannot see her.
is her video on mute or on did she take off her camera?
She says the camera is on. She
She
says
can
the
see,
video is.
she can see us all.
She could
But
see us. She could even see herself.
yeah, everything is working for her except for us. But
We
Pam,
cannot.
I'm sure she could probably write up a whole thing or send in a video blog, and then you can put it
We
up.
might just have to do a special because I want to get this before the solar eclipse. So
Mhm.
There'll be
um,
part 2 coming up.
exactly. So,
Pam,
well, we'll get to you. Don't worry. We'll do something. Yes,
when?
definitely.
Just tell me when.
Tell me when. I will tell you when. We will do something maybe specifically just because I do want to talk about the solar eclipse and
Thank you,
something very
guys.
interesting my son showed me yesterday. I don't know where he got it about some future map of the world, and it's showing how the U.S. splits open.
Oh,
And
that's been predicted since
right,
the
but
beginning.
the thing is, that's exactly where the lunar eclipse is going to be going over. So it was kind of very interesting, and I thought Pam would have a great insight in that. But Pam, we will get back to you. Don't worry, this is not over. Candy, Miss Maya, thank you so much. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it so much that you guys came on today. Sorry, my viewers, for the technical difficulties and issues. We hopefully will have this definitely wrapped up for next week. Stay tuned for who our next guest will be next week. And like I said, this is a platform to bring like-minded people together, to uplift each other, and to make sure you can find what you're looking for because they're right here under my umbrella. Please go to Affidian Magazine. Also, there's a directory there. There's a community resource. All our members are there. You'll be able to reach them one on one. And again, our gifts is at affidianmagazine.com/gifts. Go and get your gifts.
Thank you, Kaya, for your lovely comments. I love you, babe.
Yes. So thank you again, guys. I'll see you on the other end. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao, mama.
Bye. And thank you once more for tuning in. This is the Affidian Lifestyle and Magazine Show. I'm still getting used to the new name myself. And I look forward to hearing your comments. And if you would love to come on the platform, please reach out to me. I can go through the Affidian Magazine website and reach out to me. And I look forward to just sharing.
Affidian Magazine, the source for enhancing, impacting, and transforming lifestyles. Stay updated on innovative, inspiring, and uplifting stories, news, and events. Subscribe now to receive Affidian Magazine newsletters and digital issues. Visit affidianmagazine.com today.